Guys, I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. I should have been ready before I hit the play button, record button. But anyway, happy Thursday, everyone, and hope everybody's having a good day. Before I get into this story, I want to share some really good news for you guys. It's good news to me, and I guess other people that were a part of this. But besides doing videos on this channel and stuff like that, it's nothing better than having an effect outside of me just doing the video. I've been covering the story, that got little publication before we really started pushing this thing out here about the young lady, Tamara Johnson from Louisiana, out here hospitalized in Houston. And we shared her story. And you guys did your due diligence by pushing this thing and, getting it out to the nation via social media and other information platforms. We've helped raise the GoFundMe. And speaking of GoFundMe, in addition to that, we had a Cash App donation, which I've already turned over to the family, and thank everybody that donated. But check this out. Look, they reached their goal. We helped them. So everybody out there in the Dynamic Reason family that contributed, donated, whether it was on the Cash App or it was on the GoFundMe, salute to you. And everybody else that wanted to but couldn't find the time or just didn't. Either way, family is family. Just hearing the story was good enough for me. And I thank you, and the family thank you, and little Tamara thanks you as well. All right. I'll be going to go see her tomorrow or Saturday, depending on when they're going to schedule the surgery for her. But hopefully I'll have a special message from her to all of you guys that helped out. Now, let me get into this story. A long time ago, it was very hard to really get to know a woman, even if she liked you or get close enough to her where, real emotions would get stirred up. Sometimes, back in the day when I was younger, a lot of times a woman would be like, hold up, before you could even get close enough to do all of the stuff you see a lot of simp people do. Now more than ever, we're starting to see a lot of men out here exacting revenge on women that don't want them, or want to end a relationship rather. A lot of places out here, major cities are turning into death traps for women. And honestly, New York City is the same as any other city. Dangerous when it comes to women nowadays. Really, you can pull any of these national cities up and look at the crime against women, and you can match it with every city. As the same criminals are in the same city, thinking the same way and doing the same thing. Whether it's the women, children, or themselves, or innocent victims, we got real problems in this country. This story right here is out of New York City. Shout out NYC, neighborhood of Washington Heights. And it's about this young lady up here. This young lady, now, depending on where you, what news article, some say she's 29, some say she's 33. But either way, this young lady's no longer with us, and may she rest in peace. Her name is Shirley Rodriguez. And this woman, 5-something in the morning, 5:35 Monday morning, was on her way to work, guys, where she was ambushed and stabbed to death by this man right here, her ex-boyfriend. Damn. This guy's name is, let me get this right, Tyquane Gemot. They don't say how old he is, but he was caught yesterday. This guy laid in wait for her to come out of her apartment, and he stabbed her up, stalked her and stabbed her up. It was blood all over the place out there. You'll see it in this video. Nobody deserves to get stuck like a hog and bled out while this woman screaming for her life. There were some people that heard it and some people that saw a little bit of it. But the carnage you're going to see in this video is something we see far too often. It's impossible for guys to walk away. Take a look at this video. We'll come back and do what we do.
Tonight in Washington Heights, where a woman was attacked and killed while on her way to work. Police say the ex-boyfriend of Shirley Rodriguez waited for her and then stabbed her to death. And tonight, he's under arrest. Eyewitness News reporter Sonia Rincon has the latest on the investigation.
Pictures of a smiling Shirley Rodriguez are posted outside her Haven Avenue building with some flowers and candles, only steps away from what was a gruesome scene a day earlier. And those who caught a glimpse of it are still struggling with it.
The neighborhood has just really been shaken up.
Blood had to be rinsed away from the side of the building, the sidewalk, and even a parked car where the 29-year-old's killer stabbed her repeatedly and dragged her early Monday morning in front of witnesses and cameras, and she tried to fight back.
But I was woken up around 5 a.m.-ish to a pretty horrific scream.
Neighbor Alonso Feliz also heard the cries for help.
Ella pidiendo auxilio, pero ya ella estaba herida.
He says she was already so badly hurt by the time paramedics arrived, there was nothing they could do. Rodriguez was pronounced dead at Harlem Hospital, but not before telling her father, who had come running out to find her wounded, that her ex-boyfriend was the one who'd attacked her. He'd been waiting for her. Neighbors chased him down the block, but tell us he hopped a fence and got away. They're relieved tonight to hear that he's been arrested and that this was not an attack by a stranger. But it's also chilling to think it was someone this young woman was once close with and trusted.
It's gut-wrenching, honestly, because, again, it could be anyone that you know. I didn't know her personally, but she was a neighbor.
33-year-old Taekwon Jamat is in custody here at the 33rd Precinct Station House. Sources tell Eyewitness News he was arrested at a family member's home in the Bronx last night. Exact charges are still pending. In Washington Heights, Sonia Rincon, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
All right, guys, that's the story of what happened to this young lady, Shirley Rodriguez. May she rest in peace. Now, besides what we always talk about on here, as far as, broken men sometimes, and just how people feel as though they have to use fear tactics or the threat of death under the guise of love to want to make somebody stay with them. I want you guys to really think about this, especially you fellas. Those of us with common sense, this will make sense to us, but a lot of people that have a lot of these traits in them, but not to this extreme, I want you guys to think about something. Why would you want somebody to be scared of what you'll do to them just to have them be with you? I remember seeing, I think it was called Bronx Tale. I watched a lot of gangster movies, like mafia movies. And he asked him, what was better, to be loved or feared? And that's a good question, and it sparks some debate with some people. But think about this. If somebody fears you, they can never love you. Unless you're like a parent or something, the way you're teaching them something and you give them a distinct path in life to walk a certain way under your tutelage at that time, or it's a penalty, but the penalty is never death. It makes no sense. Me as a man, just thinking about it, it makes no sense for me to want somebody around me because I'm making them be there. Make it make sense. This guy stalked this woman like an animal, y'all. Like an animal. He stalked her. Knew what time she came out. Wasn't suspicious. Just ran up on her. Boom, 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 boom. Gave it to her. Like he was in the pen. She's screaming and trying to fight while her life blood is flowing out of her. She fought to no avail. People heard the screams. Stabbed this girl. Did you see all that blood on the wall? Looked like a horror movie. She fell on the car. Blood, and it wasn't drops. It was like flowing. So her injuries were arterial. So when the EMTs got there, they knew she was on her way out. Her dying words in her father's arms, she say, "It was my ex-boyfriend. He did it." Can you imagine what that father's going through right now? Seriously, your daughter loses her life. You see her soul just flowing from her body. Her blood is on you. Senseless crime. I know he's going through it right now, and my heart and condolences go out to him and his family. Crimes like this, they need to give a 90-second, I would call it victim's grace, where they let the family of these victims get that ass in a room of the victim. Of the suspect, the person that does it, that they affirm that did it. They know did it. For like 90 seconds. And if he live, he live. If not, don't worry about it. He's still facing the sentence of justice sentence or whatever. Because I'm telling you, there's no way sitting in court, this father looking across, seeing that man in representation of his daughter that's not here, who was the victim, as well as the father. Because he was on the scene of the crime, after the crime was committed, but he was there to see his daughter dying. You can sit across and look at this man and not want to put your hands on him. What do you see in all these videos? Men, women, what do they say? I seen him. I wanted to go over there and get my hands on him. If I could touch him just one time. I don't think it's fair. I don't. I think people would think a little bit different when they know that people that, I'm sure he's seen the father before, probably laughed and joked with him in his own house or whatever, because it seemed like the father came out. I guess she lived with her dad or whatever. That's the thing that's crazy. These people are around your family that accept them as family. Things might not work out all of a sudden. None of your relationship, them don't matter because of what you want to do to this girl or this guy that's telling you they don't want to be with you no more. That shit damn right. They can do what they want. Fellas, when we was young, we all suffered heartbreaks. Girls jumped up and said, hey, I ain't want to be with you. We was in school back in the day. Girls be crying. Certain periods of the day, what happened? Such and such broke up with her. Oh, okay. Yeah. People move on about their business. You see this more prevalent in men doing this than women. And don't get me wrong, it's going to start climbing because the way the upbringing now is with a lot of people and not wanting to feel embarrassed or feel as though they gave one thing in the relationship, whether it was money or something else, love, the juice box or whatever, that they feel as though you owe them forever. It's wrong. You were happy before this person came in your life. You could be happy after. People act like the end all be all ends with the person that they are with right then and there. If that's the case, you would have married the person and did right, especially as a man. You was going to lead. That's not leadership shit. You stabbed the girl and dragged her at the same time while stabbing her. How savage is that? Then run away when the people come in. Some people come out there and see you. They chase you. You run away. Ain't nothing gangster in putting your hands on a woman, especially doing something as vile as that. Now, I don't know if this young lady had children or not, but either way, she had family. Family that he knew about and didn't care nothing about it when he was exacting his vengeance on her for the rejection that he felt he felt inside of him. You can't make it make sense. Like I told you, there's a lot of cruel crimes out here. The punishment need to be no less crueler. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.